Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to know more about radical feminism. What is radical feminism? It is a feminist ideology and movement focused on identifying and dismantling patriarchy, the systemic domination and exploitation of women by men, as the root cause of women's oppression. Radical feminists view society as a patriarchy, a system where men hold power over women in all social and political contexts. They argue that patriarchy is rooted in male supremacy, leading to women's oppression. Power in society is seen as a dualistic system where one half of the community, men, oppresses the other, women. Traditional gender roles are seen as tools men use to maintain patriarchal control and power over women. Historically, the movement emerged in the late 1960s, during the second wave of feminism, as a response to the perceived failure within other social and feminist movements that did not adequately address women's systemic oppression by men. Core achievement was to make topics like domestic work, child-rearing, and sexual relationships public and political issues, rather than solely private matters. Radical feminists developed and popularized much of the language and conceptual framework of second-wave feminism. They were instrumental in establishing rape crisis centers, women's shelters, and lesbian communes, creating crucial support networks for women. They actively promoted the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment in the United States. Radical feminists played a significant role in the fight to legalize abortion. The personal is political. This slogan encapsulated the movement's core tenet, bringing attention to the deeply political nature of everyday experiences, particularly those affecting women. Radical feminism continues to influence feminist theory by emphasizing the dismantling of patriarchal structures, driving activism around issues like violence against women and reproductive rights. Successors of radical feminism include groups focused on the ongoing critique of patriarchal structures, radical lesbian feminism, contemporary thinkers like Brianne Faz, and intersectional feminism. Radical feminism also brought attention to male-perpetrated violence against women, including rape and violence within the family, making these issues central to the feminist discourse. Some radical feminist groups have been criticized for excluding transgender women, trans-exclusionary radical feminists, and sex workers, sex worker exclusionary radical feminists, from the feminist movement. Some radical feminist works, like those by Andrea Dworkin, have been perceived as anti-sex and critical of heterosexual relationships, though this perspective is debated. Key figures and founders of radical feminism during the second wave feminism of the 1960s include Shulamith Firestone, Ty Grace Atkinson, Catherine McKinnon, Andrea Dworkin, Robin Morgan, and Kate Millett. These activists and writers were influenced by some popular books: Scum Manifesto by Valerie Solanas, The Dialectic of Sex by Shulamith Firestone, Woman Hating by Andrea Dworkin, Toward a Feminist Theory of the State by Catherine A. McKinnon, Unpacking Queen Politics by Sheila Jeffrey. Several movies have been made on the concept. A few of them are Born in Flames, Daisies, The Slumber Party Massacre. These books and movies focus on anti-patriarchal themes, female collectivity, and rejection of norms. Popular organizations formed from or influenced by the radical feminist movement include the New York Radical Women and Red Stockings, and organizations that emerged from the broader women's liberation movement of the 1960s and 1970s, which shared radical feminist ideas about dismantling patriarchy. While the National Organization for Women, NOW, was formed by prominent feminists in 1966, it represents a more liberal feminist approach compared to the radical analysis of the time. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe.